Every child comes to class with gifts, and it's the role of the teacher to help uncover those strengths, develop them further, and provide a foundation for lifelong learning.
They will have confidence and a positive image and self-esteem about themselves around competency only if we do. The strength-based approach really starts with the adults, but the effect is on the children.
This type of personalized education falls in line with the Ministry of Education's Learning for All resource guide.
I believe that it is so important for them to demonstrate the necessity of getting to know your children, getting to know your students, personalizing education for each and every student in the classroom, not necessarily just the students that have special needs.
When digging deeper for the Learning for All resource, one comes across the tiered approach. This approach uses interventions of increasing intensity, duration, and frequency to address students' academic and behavioral needs. Many students struggle with reading, but not every struggling reader will be identified as having a learning disability or disabilities. Before a student can be recommended for a psychoeducational assessment, which may lead to a diagnosis, a number of different approaches need to be tried. And this is where a strategy like the tiered approach is especially useful.
When we come to the conclusion that a student is struggling, let's say with reading, we will decide as a group, as a collective group, we will work on this collaboratively. What are the interventions that student needs and how is that going to happen?
Thunder Bay Catholic District School Board uses a tiered approach to support students in their reading. The tiers they use are Peer-Assisted Learning Strategies as a Tier 1 intervention, Success by 7 as a Tier 2 intervention, and the Empower Reading, Decoding, and Spelling Program as a Tier 3 intervention. But this is only one school board's approach. It's up to you to select which types of strategies will suit your classroom and your school board's needs.
The children feel supported, they feel more confident, they will voice how happy they are when they start to see the strategies take hold and actually give them those results.
Peer-assisted learning strategies, also known as PALS, can be used as a Tier 1 supplemental reading program delivered in addition to the classroom literacy program. In this whole class approach, the teacher acts as a facilitator while the students teach each other. Students read together in pairs and take turns being the coach or the reader. The reader reads aloud while the coach provides corrective feedback and positive reinforcement. Soon, they'll switch roles. It's a typical day in the PALS program.
She wore the same long, lacy dress, the same costume as 2 years ago,
And this program gives students the opportunity to take an integral role in a valued classroom activity.
You get them to demonstrate to you their strength, then you affirm them and tell them, you did a really good job with that. I like the way you did that today. See, you can do that. So what we're doing is we're finding different ways for children to engage in reading that are struggling readers.
Students work on phonological awareness, vocabulary development, comprehension, and fluency with their partner in a judge-free environment. Teachers circulate the room, noting observations and offering assistance. This 30 to 40-minute reading activity is ideally implemented 2 to 4 times a week.
We do try to start from the positive, from the child's strengths, so that they see themselves as learners. And our hope is that they leave us with the idea that we're all lifelong learners, that yes, there might be a speed bump on their academic path, but there are many different strategies and programs that we have available to us to intervene on their behalf.
The teacher does an initial assessment and then splits the class in half. The top readers from each half are paired. The second from the top readers are paired, and so on down the line, so a stronger reader and weaker reader are always together. In addition to becoming better readers, students also learn to work cooperatively, focus better, gain self-confidence, and become more invested in their learning.
And one little girl in grade 1 said to me, at the beginning of the year, I really didn't care about learning how to read. She said, but with a little bit of time, I started to think about the strategies. And now I use the strategies, and now I can read. And now I am a good reader.
Sometimes a more intensive intervention is necessary for students to reach their literacy goals, and that's where Success by 7, a Tier 2 intervention, becomes an option.
So these are the students that are just below reading level. They're typically our level 2 students that we just need to move along. And we work with them for half an hour on their word study, their phonemic awareness, and then we do a half an hour of applied reading. So we do their guided reading at their level, we do shared reading, we do read alouds, and we do a lot of conversation talking about books and author's purpose and really building up their confidence in their reading abilities.
Success by 7 teaches phonological awareness, phonics, vocabulary development, and comprehension. Select grade 1 and 2 students are taken out of their classroom for 1 hour a day over 16 weeks. Ideally, the students miss their literacy block.
They'll tell us, I can't do it, this is too hard, they get frustrated. And as the weeks go on, our program is so positive, and we have students after a few weeks who aren't in the program wanting to come with us, wanting to line up and say, well, why aren't you taking me?
They're often very shy, not all, but often very shy, very down on themselves at the beginning. They know that they're not readers, and that is a huge shift by the end that we hear from the parents, that we hear from the classroom teachers, is a huge shift in their confidence level, which is wonderful.
I like all of it.
You liked all of it? What's your favorite part of Success by 7 when you come every day?
Books. Like my favorite, all of them.
The Success by 7 program is a safe zone for students. Everyone starts at the same age and the same reading level. This is crucial to building student confidence in their reading.
And it's only then when they feel emotionally and mentally and physically engaged and secure in an environment that they'll begin that learning process.
That feeling of belonging, that feeling of achievement is something that doesn't happen overnight. It's sort of it builds on itself. It's a daily work.
Students read in front of their Success by 7 peers first and gradually gain the confidence to read to the rest of their class. They typically improve their reading level by the end of the program, especially in knowledge of letter sounds and word recognition.
So it's quite exciting. It's a huge change in a very short amount of time. So it's a very rewarding program. Parents are thrilled, very emotional and thankful by the end. The children are so confident. They love reading. They feel good about themselves.
We hear that positive feedback at the end saying, you know, you've changed my family, you've changed our outlook on school.
It feels really fun to be graduating because we did so much over the year that you know more for going into grade 2.
The benefits of this program translate across all subjects, such as being able to participate in class read-alouds and work independently. The rapid change seen in students comes as a result of collaboration, especially with the classroom teacher.
Classroom teacher plays a key role in ensuring that those strengths that are developed in the program are in place in the classroom so that they become more second nature. They become just the way that the child attacks a new text.
We really have worked as a team within our board to be able to share best practices. And teachers know that they can email us at any time or come in and observe just to get that extra little, a few new ideas to try in the classroom. And it's really benefited our board.
As students progress through the elementary grades and various interventions, teachers may notice a certain student needs even more support. This student may be a good candidate for a Tier 3 intervention, such as the Empower Reading Decoding and Spelling program. A group of 4 to 8 students are taken out of their class for an hour a day for 110 days. In the Thunder Bay Catholic District School Board, students miss their language component. In other boards, students don't miss language, but a different subject instead, so they get a double dose of reading. The trade-off is worth it either way. Students learn how to decode words.
The 5 strategies are the sounding out strategy. And the key to the sounding out strategy is the kids have to know how to say the sounds correctly. Then they say them slowly without stopping. And then last, they read the word. So that has really helped kids slow down and read the word correctly.
The second strategy is the rhyming strategy. Students look for spelling patterns they recognize and use a keyword that they've learned to decode new words.
The third strategy is the peeling off strategy. Kids love the peeling off strategy because they're looking for prefixes and suffixes. They're able to read words like unfeeling, where at the beginning of the year they just look at the word and guess by looking at the first couple of letters. So it helps them break the word apart.
The fourth strategy is called vowel alert. It involves looking at vowels and trying the different sounds a vowel or vowel combinations make. And the last strategy is the spy strategy, where students seek word parts in a longer word. This strategy is used mainly in compound words, like nightmare. I spy the word night. I spy the word mare. The whole word is nightmare. All Empower teachers must complete the Empower training program to ensure the program is implemented correctly. Extensive research shows this program helps students who struggle with learning to read, especially those with learning disabilities. Teachers follow a script and prescribed order for all 110 lessons, which can take time to get used to.
And I had my own ways of teaching, so I had to let those go and trust the program, and it has been a real benefit to the kids. It's made me think in a completely different way how to approach teaching reading.
Empower Reading teaches students to slow down and think, whether you're reading directions for a math test or a street sign outside. Decode, don't guess. It gives students the confidence to attack words they weren't able to decode before. And once students become proficient in these 5 strategies, they use the game plan to select which strategy to use next.
At the beginning of the year, there was a lot of support. At the end, where I still try to give a little bit of support, they say, no, let me figure it out on my own. I can do this. And they don't want anybody else giving them the word while they're reading. They just want to sit and think, and they can usually work through it.
These decoding skills transfer to other classes and set students up to become lifelong learners.
It is astounding at how much hard work they've put into this. They have to really, really pay attention. It's a struggle for some of them, but it's worth it in the end.
Now I can read chapter books. I can read better stuff. Since last year I couldn't read one word.
Every student has different strengths, needs, and ways they learn best. The tiered approach provides unique interventions for the classroom teacher, so all types of learners are supported and engaged.
It is the relationships that make people happy in the workplace, or the kids happy with the school and wanting to come to school. And there's gains to be made when kids are feeling happy, because happy kids are engaged kids, and engaged kids are successful kids.
The tiered approach is also a strategy that can be used before addressing the potential of learning disabilities.
We have to go through those tiers to really fully demonstrate that there is a need and that those interventions have not necessarily been successful. And the onus becomes on the teachers to provide the assessment data and demonstrate what strategies and what interventions have been put in place before we jump to providing a comprehensive learning assessment that will actually diagnose a student with a learning disability.
PALS, Success by 7, and the Empower Reading Program are one school board's approach to this tiered strategy, but there are many other ways to apply the tiered approach. To learn more about the tiered approach and how to use it in your classroom, consult the Ministry of Education's Learning for All resource guide and ld@school.ca for great classroom resources.